Hey guys, I'm Evan and this is Magnolias in Sunlight and we are on day 9 of DIY or Die, my series where we make a DIY Halloween project every day in the month of October. So let's dive in with day 9. Today we're going to go back to that spooky garden theme. I am absolutely in love with these like butterfly taxidermy. It kind of makes me sad because I don't love the idea of them all being like real butterflies. So today I'm fixing that for myself and we are using some faux Halloween themed butterflies. I picked all of these up at Michael's and each pack comes with 3 sizes. So we can play with scale and we can use the ones we like and then use the other ones on projects later on. So last year I made this little guy and he's a little squished from being in the storage. But this is kind of the same vein we're going for. I love the idea of like creating the aesthetic of like a crazy anthropologist, scientist, botanist kind of that library look. If you know what I mean. If you know what I mean, let me know in the comments. But this is going to kind of all go with this. All of this was from Michael's last year. So I am hoping to kind of continue that theme and then do a little area in my house that really catches that like outdoor adventure at Halloween look. For our supplies, we are going to need, let me uncover it from all the other little things. Obviously, we're going to need the butterflies. That's what's on top, so I'll show them to you now. We have a bunch, and you'll see them up close as we make the project. You're also going to need a shadow box. This one is currently taken apart, but I picked this up at the Goodwill, and the back is over here. I was kind of trying to figure out what to do because the back, I don't know how well you're going to be able to tell on camera, but the back is a little chewed up. Whoever was using this used it well and then donated it. And I got it for, I think it's $5.99 on the sticker, but I'm pretty sure it was the color of the day. So we got that for 50% off. I don't buy shadow boxes or picture frames anymore unless I check the thrift store at least like 3 times. And then if at that point I'm like, okay, I can't find it, then I'll go buy a new one. But we're going to try and cover that back a little bit. So I have some scrapbook paper and I have some fabric. We're going to see maybe a combo with keeping whatever linen on the back because I like that white linen. And then we have some greenery supplies. We have some moss that I've had hanging around in my garage forever. So I'm excited to use this, and some faux black sticks. I think we're going to do like a branch and then all the butterflies coming off of the branch. I'll throw some examples up on the screen of these like beautiful displays that I love, and then we will just have some fun gluing this together. So let's dive in and make a butterfly taxidermy shadow box. We'll come up with a better name for it, but let's start making it. Okay, so you can see we have the back of our shadow box and we're actually just going to take this off. The one problem with this, I didn't realize when I bought it, all of the clips have been used so much that they're starting to break off. So like this one literally just broke off in my hand. So I might have to figure out how to tack the back onto this, but we'll get to that at the end. You know, a little tape, you know, is probably the answer. So I'm going to just actually move this out of the way. And then this is the piece we're going to work on. I'm also preemptively going to start heating up the glue gun because I'm sure momentarily we're going to need that. Now looking at it, you can see how chewed up this is. It's divoted, there's holes. Like, I loved the idea of the linen behind. I think this is really pretty, but I'm also worried that when you see it, you're going to be able to really tell that this is like a used thrifted piece, and we don't want that. So what if we add a layer? I'm really into that wallpaper concept. We did the wallpaper ghost in day 5, and then we put this on top. Yes, it's busy, but we're going for that like erratic professor. And then if we take this apart, it's busy because there's so many branches here, but this won't actually fit in our shadow box because we don't have that much height to play with. So if we just have 1 or 2 of these, I think that looks really stunning. So I say we cut this up. Oh, I hit the tripod with the sticks. Whoops. So I say we cut this up and then figure out like how to put it on here, because I also don't want it to just like transition. I want something pretty here. We'll figure it out. Let's think and we'll play with that in a second. Okay, so I went and found some options. I also found this to put on the outside of our shadow box, which will be lovely. But so to put down these corners, I'm thinking either we could use some black lace and make like photo corners. This is from another project that you won't see till probably next week, but little spoiler alert, a little black velvet, and make a photo corner. We could even use some of these to tack down maybe at least one corner. Or where did it go? We also have, we could paint this gold and make photo corners out of that, which I kind of love that. That's cool. But that also requires then some paint. And then we also have some black lace. This needs to be opened up. I have no idea where this came from, but it was in my sewing kit. Oh, that's the move. Okay. So we can just make like photo corners out of that. And I think that will tack it down really pretty. Do we go all the way around? Maybe going all the way around. No, that's too, I think that's too much. Side inside. And then we have this. Where's my stick? Maybe that's the move. Up the sides. And then we leave the top and bottom empty. Oh my gosh, we have so much to think about. I think this is what we're gonna do. I think that's really pretty, and I think it's like kind of like fun Victorian house. So this is the move, or this is our combination. Did that cut all the way? Nope. I'm trying not to cut too hard because I don't want to mess up my back, my cork mat, but okay. That's done. Now we bring this guy back in. And voila, a basically perfect background. So I'm just gonna use, normally I would never put hot glue on paper because you're gonna see it, but I'm just gonna put like a very light coat in our corners and kind of smush it flat so that we don't have that bubble. And then put this down. Like that. Wonderful. Okay, now we can play with our lace. So again, I think maybe a little overhang. That's cute. So match that on both sides. Sewing scissors have been achieved. So now we can just trim this up because that's looking quite straggly. I don't like it, and that's much better. Okay. So, lace on this side. Trying to figure out where this was from. Simplicity. Oh, this must have been from Joann's. Same thing. We're gonna go at the end of the scallop. And then we're gonna trim this one up because it's crooked. And then a line of glue. Oh, that stopped gluing. Okay. And there's our backdrop. I'm actually really excited how that turned out. So now we can flip it because this is actually the orientation that we are going to be using. I want to make sure you guys are fully, there we go, fully in screen. So this is just tied together with tissue paper. So these little guys basically just pop right out which is super nice. And we can, I'm gonna go all the way off the edge and then we can trim these, but I think it'll look nicer if they are like bleeding off the canvas, basically. It's a design word. Hopefully I'm not losing anybody with the concept of a bleed, but that's when anything goes off the edge of the page. I'm gonna try and twist these together. And then angle them the way we like. Yep, that's pretty good. That way. And then maybe one more over here to fill out. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. There. Cool. Okay, and then this bit down here we can cover in a minute using our moss. Okay, very fun, very cool. Let's do a butterfly tour. We have purple butterflies with stars and moons. We have black butterflies with glitter, moons, and leaves, laurels. Skeleton butterfly. Silver metallic skull butterfly. Black spiderweb butterfly. Lace wing bejeweled butterfly. Nope. White bejeweled butterfly. And I think that's all of them. Let's start with the big lace one. I think that one's really pretty and it ties our black lace in on the sides. You know what's crazy? When I drew this out, because I draw all of my sketches and stuff, it was horizontal. And then just as we started playing and I pulled out the branches, I was like, no, it can't be horizontal. It has to be vertical. I also saw one of these beautiful, like the cascade of butterflies. And I just was like, that's what I want to make. So I'm wondering if I can just, that's fun. And then it's like the bow on the bottom and it kind of helps deal with our wire situation. We're gonna move on to the middle-sized butterflies and I'm just gonna cut the wires. Well, they're all tangled up back here. This is kind of a pain to get them all out, to be completely honest. Whoever packaged these was not joking around. Look at that wire. You don't need that. That's too much. Okay. I'm going to hot glue the rest of them. Look, that one doesn't even have a wire. Well, it did. It fell off. Okay. So I'm gonna place these because I want to go like upside down, or no, a vase shape. That's right. So this is our base, and then we're gonna fly them up, and then use a lot of the small ones around the top. I want to at least use one of each because they're cute. Do we want any moss is the bigger question here. Ooh, gross, 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 gross. I hate this stuff. Love it, but I hate it. Does it hang? Do we have any hanging? Yeah. It makes it look more natural. Dang it. I didn't want to like it, but I think it looks cooler with a little bit of moss tucked in. I feel like this is one of those things that I would do and then my husband would be like, did you even do anything? Yeah, I added moss. Can't you tell? You can tell in person. I'm just wondering with the background how well it's coming through on camera. Okay. And done. Okay, so we have our frame. The rest of it's drying off to the side because the glass was rather dirty. So I'm actually just gonna hot glue this on, and this is just a little tag that we can put, you know, the scientific name of the butterflies in or something. And I don't want this showing. So off of the edges of the butterflies, we have some leftover, let's see if I can even get it up. There. There's some leftover sequins that I'm gonna push in to that glue. Oh, it's dry, dang, okay. It's melted again with the tip. Alrighty, so next step, I bought this pack of random bits and bobs from Michael's, gosh, 4 years ago. And these are the ones that I have left, but I noticed, like, isn't that cute? There's some, like, name cards. There's one. I don't think that's gonna be the right size. We might have to cut our own. Well, that could work. You can just trim this up and then write. I'm trying to decide if I want to use the French word for butterfly because I think it's, I'm not gonna say it out loud because my French is appalling, but I think it looks beautiful. It's on the tags of these. What if we even cut that up and put that in there? Let's just try that, just because it's already exists and then we don't have to use any more paper. And it's printed. So close, just a little bit more off the edge. Oh, well, I think that was easy. And we reused something that was, this was gonna go in the recycling, so cool. All right, y'all, I hope you guys have enjoyed day 9's project. I think it turned out really fun, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow for day 10. We still have so many more things to create.